tell me a little bit why smart people like getting punched in the face, because I find that some of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners that I meet on the mat, contrary to probably what the stereotype would be, they're not like, walking orangutans who are just like, oh, I like to fight. We're not morons, right? Like you and I have seen so many people that they're not these meatheads. They're not like
me and you, for example.
Yeah. You and I, we are definitely not meatheads. Well, maybe we're meatheads, but we're not dumb meatheads. Yeah. Like I feel like jiu-jitsu, especially the super high level competitors, they're almost got like on the spectrum of autism, right? Because it's like they're like the Rain Man of violence. Yes. So why is it that mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu attracts, like, I would think, a more intellectual breed than maybe, I don't know, other combat sports or other athletic endeavors?
That's such a loaded question. I don't have the expertise to answer, but I'll try.
Okay, perfect. That's what this podcast is all about. Non-experts answering expert questions. And actually, Chris, we should put that in the bio on YouTube, like non-experts answering expert questions on the Edge podcast.
Right. On the Edge is such a good segue, right? Because I'm on the edge of, being a financial expert, and now I'm on the edge of, bashing faces in, right?
Right.
And so it's kind of funny. It's like,
you're so smart. You're going to go into the ring with an intention of knocking somebody unconscious. Like that's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, the best analogy to go back to the IRS is that they have internal IRS agents and they carry a pistol. So you don't mess with your auditor.
No.
Because you can imagine they run into a lot of angry people. Hey, I'm here to audit you and you owe XYZ.
Yeah.
I'm getting my gun. I have one.
I was able to laugh at that, but the libertarian in me is like shrieking at the idea of like taxation at the end of a gun. Like my stomach is turning in ways that you don't even understand right now. Anyway, I digress. So tell me why smart people like getting punched in the face.
So, no, I think, it's honestly one of the most intricate, most beautiful things we have left in our society. And, especially like MMA, I think, as opposed to, jiu-jitsu definitely, because it's like jiu-jitsu is you're really here to learn. I'll get to the MMA part. Jiu-jitsu is like I'm definitely here to learn. And the best part about jiu-jitsu that other sports don't have, the ability to tap. I think this is such an amazing thought form. Like whoever came up with the concept of jiu-jitsu and gave the ability to tap is just genius, because I can get as deep as I want into an awful submission where you're going to break my arm off, and I say that's enough.
Yeah.
And I learn how far my arm can go, right? And I can get out of it in a safe way. Most other sports, however, they don't have that. You're going to get beat up, and you need a ref to think you've gotten beat up too much to intervene, right?
Yeah.
So I think it is this, but so jiu-jitsu builds this concept where it's like, I can train for 20 years, you could train for 20 years, and we meet and we still don't know who's going to win. The 20 years you train are on completely different things than I trained on. And that combination of events that happen between us is so unique that it may never happen again. That particular role, there's some pathways that are very normal, right?
Right.
And I'm going to try to get, hopefully I don't take too much time talking here, but I have this concept called invisible jiu-jitsu. And it's the part of jiu-jitsu that you don't see, or that someone who's been doing it for 20 years will have to explain to you. Even after they do the move to you, you see them do it on someone else. If they didn't use words to express a certain part, like a squeeze or grip, you wouldn't really be able to finish or accomplish that move. So there's certain parts of jiu-jitsu that is beyond the comprehension that you can get through anything else. It literally is one of those things where you kind of need a sensei, right? So it's a very intellectual game where it's like there's certain understandings that someone watching an MMA fight, like I used to be that person, think I could do that. And then the more I learn, I realize, I can't. Like I had to learn what this person's actually doing. This person just did 3 moves in a row, and you thought he was just fighting, right? He did 3 distinct particular things, and if you watch multiple versions of his fight, you realize he's doing the same thing over and over again. So you realize there's an intelligence there. He's not just swinging for the fences, if you would, right? A good example would be like the Strickland Adesanya fight, where we're expecting Strickland to brawl like he normally does, right? And just because of that, we also thought he might win doing that. But then he goes in there and he becomes defensively sound. And that's the invisible jiu-jitsu. So it's like, how do you want to fight not throwing a punch? Most people can't even see what he's doing. He's slowly deflecting punches. I can't even articulate, but someone like maybe DC can break down move by move and say, this is how he's closing the space. This is what he's doing. Maybe he can't even articulate it to you yet, right?
Right.
But he's able to do something so intelligent that he's changing how people look at fighting. It's like you don't have to be, well, he showed both sides, right? He's normally an aggressor, but he showed that you can stay close to the person that has the most dynamic weapons in the game, not throw a punch and let him tire himself out till he's backing up and he's afraid because you're too close. I got so close in your personal space, I can hurt you, but I haven't thrown anything. So you're in a panic state the entire time. So this is like intelligent, this is like fight knowledge, right? This is why in fighting, there's like 3 commentators, right? Because there's so many potentials happening that they need to debate and figure out what is going on in real time to tell the person that has no idea what's happening.
Right.
So there's this intricate knowledge that is in the fight game that is, let's call it free. It's like everything else, you kind of need a degree. Fighting is one of the things, a few things in this world that I can get better. I can be not technical, but I can get better at fighting, just fighting people. If I were just to spar with people, the top level, low level, different levels, something is going to click eventually where I'm like beating people up and I can't even explain what I'm doing. I just know he can't reach me and I can reach him, right? So the people that can actually articulate this information to the point that Joe Smo's like me and you can like pick it up. I'm a blue belt. I'm still a little low on the level.
Yeah, me too.
I like to say I'm a high level blue belt, which is an oxymoron. But, so it's
black belt in training, bro. You're a black belt
in training, right? So, and again, to me, it's not even about the belt, right? So some of my moves are black belt level, right? So, everyone has expertise and things of that nature. So, but the point we're getting at is that there is a huge amount of intelligence here. It's like I'm romanticizing it because for me, I like what works.
Right.
Let's put it that simple, right? Like the term they use in fighting a lot is high percentage, right? What combination is you're going to catch your opponent in 90% of the time? And like we're seeing in the maybe 90% is a high threshold. My threshold is normally like 60% of the times. I'm more likely to get this off on you than you defend it. 60% of the times, I'm willing to take that battle every time.
Right. In
fighting, there's a lot of 50-50 positions, right? Where like dogfight, or there's just different positions where I'm arm dragging you and you can arm drag me back. Like you name it. But there's a bunch of positions where it's like, I can win, you can win. Right. And then there's a bunch of positions where it's like, I'm on your back. You have to escape. You're no longer fighting me. I'm not really in danger of, it's almost like, not to bore people that are not into jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu starts standing. And then maybe you take someone down and maybe someone sits, right? And then you have to pass their guard, which is passing both their legs, right? And then the whole time the guy's trying to re-guard, right? He's trying to keep you in between his legs. So whether it's one leg in or two leg in, full guard, half guard, he's trying to keep you in his leg retention. Once you pass that, you're in half side control. And then now it's called control position. So even side control, you're still calling it re-guard. But for me, that's almost like an escape. Right? Even though it's not so much escape, but you can kind of submit people and do different things, buggy chokes and all these different things. But long story short, you're really trying to just sweep and or escape at that point. Same with full mount and back take. So from a back take to full mount to side control, there's a clear dominance going on. And that's when you stop going from a 50-50 position to now there's like a 60-40% onward where I'm more likely to submit you or do damage to you or whatever the case is. I'm winning, right? Gravity's on my side. So there's certain people that you don't want to get into their guard because all you can do from there is escape. Now he's both legs around me and I'm trying to escape this position right now. There's not too much I could do to him. So there's certain positions where you're trying to escape something versus where you're actually attacking or have the option to attack. And just putting yourself in more of these 60, 40 positions where you have the 60, or recognizing when you're in a 40-60 position and get out of that position is just a big part of jiu-jitsu. So it's really a knowledge-based sports that is hard to express to someone that never did it. Right? Because it gets so intricate. In each position, you can write, there's hours and hours of tutorials of each position from different people around the world looking at the same thing a certain way. And sometimes you watch an hour tutorial and you follow everything he has to say. And then there's really only one part of it that's like, this is high percentage. If I can get this on someone, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, those are the parts that you have to take out.
Hey, this quick interruption is brought to you by me, Scott Groves, the host of the On the Edge podcast. This podcast is brought to you by me. I'm a loan officer who can help you with a mortgage in all 50 states across the United States. I also coach loan officers. So if you are a home buyer who's looking to get a mortgage, if you're a realtor who's looking to partner with an awesome loan officer, or if you're a loan officer looking for coaching, get in touch with me. It's those sources of revenue that allow us to produce this podcast and get out a new episode to you every week for the last couple of years. So if you're looking for a mortgage, if you're looking for a mortgage lender to partner with, or you're looking for a mortgage coach, I'm your guy. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.